Hello, everyone. My name is Brittany Lewis. The meeting that I chose to lead was focused on hypertension and management. The meeting took place on February. Hold on, let me see. The meeting actually took place on a Tuesday, which was February, actually. And it lasted for 1 hour at 6100 South Walker Avenue in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The number of participants were five, and my relationship to them was that I was their wellness coach or their behavioral health case manager. I am certified in both fields, so I serve a purpose to each client by either helping them through wellness or being their case manager. The group dynamics that were used during this session, I had to do a lot of encouraging and supporting as we did read aloud and give feedback on the information that we received or the information that we read, how we felt about it, giving our feedback. Another thing that helped for engagement was self disclosure, finding a way to relate to each client, or not each client, but all of them reaching a common ground. Me personally, I don't have hypertension as far as I know of. However, it runs in my family, and for a lot of the participants, hypertension is hereditary in their family. So we were able to establish a common ground, which helped for engagement. The content that we went over was basically a lot of factual information, such as cultural factors, age, lifestyle changes, family history, gender, race. I don't know if you all know, but African Americans tend to develop high blood pressure more often than other people of any racial background. And so I felt that the group was very educational because there were other participants that didn't know that. And so educational was the group from an educational aspect was definitely fulfilling. Um, with my own self-assessment on the group and to give or the meeting to give my own opinion of it, I felt that my performance was very I felt I was very reserved in a sense, just just because this was one of the very few times that I've actually led a meeting, and so really just wanting to take a neutral approach, so to speak, for proper engagement was what was on my mind actually. Um, I feel that one of the main challenges that I encountered was keeping the group engaged. And it wasn't keeping them engaged, as so to speak, that I didn't have their attention. I think it was more so taking the initiative to approach different topics, asking for feedback, because typically I have a co leader. And so, in this sense, my co leader really just let me maneuver through the meeting. She stepped in when needed, but she basically looked to me to be able to keep an even flow amongst the meeting. And so, I think that was just the most challenging, simply because really just having that icebreaker was challenging for me at first. Once we got along through the group and we all were encouraging and supporting one another, it became easier. Um, One thing that I felt I did do well was actively listening to each participant and their opinion and their feedback on the information that we did go over, like, the hereditary factor that high blood pressure plays in our lives. And so I feel that just that active listening and being able to find a relatable basis was very easy for me. With the conclusion and application, um, one thing that, if I could take anything from this group going further in future leadership, I would make sure that I practice my deliverance and my approach, which is something that I felt I could have did better on. And I feel that I could also stand to work on keeping that steady flow. Because I feel that there were times where there were those silent moments or those moments where I felt like a deer in headlights. So I feel just being able to keep that flow going is something that I could stand to work on. Another, and that's basically it. So thank you.